for Vape. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Griffin 25, the Griffin 25 by Geekvape. This is an RTA, a rebuildable tank atomizer with a 25mm diameter. It's an improvement and a version 2 over the Griffin V1, which has been very popular. I also have an extra one of these they sent me for a giveaway. So in this video, watch the review and I will tell you how you could win a Griffin 25mm RTA. Let's go take a close-up look at this out of the box. Let's take a look at how it works. I'm not going to do a whole build in this video. I'm just going to show you the build I do. I'm going to be using Clapton wire from Geekvape. This is a 26 gauge core, 32 gauge outer wrap, and I'll be using that. Our 25mm Griffin tank from Geekvape. Top airflow with travel to the coil structure, available for single or dual coil, 6.5 milliliter juice capacity, 17mm build deck, clicking into positions, airflow control. This was a sample sent to me by Geekvape for review. As you can see here, free sample. Dear friends, thank you for evaluating Geekvape products. Okay. It's got specs on the back, on the outside of the packaging, which is nice. So you can see materials used, peak insulator raw material made in the USA, hardness of 316 stainless steel set screws at 5558 HRC by 1200 nitrogen surface treatment, whatever that means. The screws used on the build deck are hard. Silica glass tube, high temperature resistant, excellent acid resistant. The kit contains one Griffin 25 RTA, one wideboard drip tip, one replacement glass tube, one 510 drip tip adapter, one spare parts polybag, one Allen key, and a ceramic block. To learn more about our products and how to use them, geekvape.com. And if you open this up and take that card out, you can scratch for authenticity. Okay, so let's open it up, take a look at the tank, take a look at the spare parts. Here's a close-up. We're going to break it down, really get a close-up look. Here you have their logo, Geekvape, laser etched on the tank. That nice Greek mythology griffin on the inside. Very sleek looking tank. For its size, it still looks nice and well proportioned. Here you have top airflow. It is a little tight just yet. Doesn't have 360 degree. You just turn it, rotate it left or right. Okay. And this drip tip here is removable. Here you can look, have a peek down that chimney. Let's put this back on. Our top fill has some nice knurling here. Nice threads on the outside of this wide diameter. Really, really huge fill holes. Look at that. That's awesome. Could practically just dump juice right down in there. And here you see the chimney. This here's your airflow that travels down that inner wall within a wall in the chimney. So there's your top airflow right there. Okay, further breaking down this tank. Let's remove the base. I'm going to assume this unscrews. I'm not going to do it now, but to replace that glass, this has to unscrew. So somewhere in here, yeah, probably down here. Okay, we won't mess with it though. Here's your build deck. It's got this ceramic block. So if you wanted to go single coil, you would use this ceramic block, and you would use this little rubber insert here that's stuck in there. And here's how you remove that. You unscrew this ring. This ring acts as a guide for your wicking. You remove this stopper. This is going to block up the airflow hole as well as the juice wicking holes, and then fill that part of the chamber so that you can do single coil mode. Interesting. Let's put this ring back on because I'm going to do a dual coil build on here. And this ring acts as a guide. You tuck your wicks down into there. Let's go ahead and get something I can focus in on. So as you can see, we have airflow up from the base of the deck, two nice wide slots that are clicky, totally closed. And there were clicks. All right, airflow comes up and you have these nice huge wide airflow holes at the base of the deck. Your wicks, your coils are going to be positioned right above the airflow between the posts. We've got a 2-post design with 2 post holes in each post, which is nice. This post comes straight up from the deck. This one has a little bit of a lean to it. If you see that, it's intentional. That's because this one's milled into the deck and this one is placed in there and it's removable. And so you want that lean. If you had to lean one way or the other, prefer to be leaning in towards the tank than out towards the outer wall. Okay, here's your O-ring. That's your seal for the tank. The threading looks to be really sharp and smooth. No burrs, no rough edges anywhere. Everything on this tank is very clean. This just came out of the box. There's no puddled up machine oil. Okay, we've got a 510 connection that does not stick out very far. I would not, this is a tank, don't use this on hybrid mech mods. In fact, don't use this on mech mods at all. Use it on a regulated mod, that way you can determine the power that you want to vape at. Okay, so there's our build deck, there's our airflow, there's how we can install if we want to go single coil. So that's the base. Let's screw this back in. Very nice, very smooth. Awesome. Like it a lot. There are your close-ups. Looks like a very functional and practical tank. Has me very excited. I really think this has all the makings of a really nice vape. Okay, let's take a look at the spare parts that come in this package. Aside from the single coil mode plugs, we'll call them that, we've got a second set of those, just in case you lose these or with use over time you need another set. You have a second set. That's nice. Let's see what else comes in this box. We've got a spare glass sleeve. This one's frosted. You've got a tool. Here's the Phillips size. And here's the hex Allen tool. And then this one is just, I don't know, it's just a cylinder. Maybe push stuff out. You have spare O-rings. Wow. Different colored O-rings. If you want blue, if you want orange. And extra post screws. Those are the hex screws. People call them grub screws. I don't know why. You've got a 510 adapter. So if you don't like this drip tip, you can put in this 510 adapter and put in any drip tip of your choosing. It's very nice. That's all that comes in the box. Here's a comparison of the Geekvape V1 Griffin and the Geekvape V2 25mm diameter. Yeah, just holding them up side by side for comparison. I believe 25mm. All right. We still have that cool logo. This black one's very nice. And then there is an upgrade kit for these now, for the Geekvape Griffin, where you can get top airflow for this tank as well, as this one already comes with it. So some innovation. We also have, I forgot to mention, there is juice flow control. There we go, juice flow control. Okay, we're back up top here let's talk about this. I hope you enjoyed the close-ups of this Griffin 25mm RTA, as well as a size comparison of the Griffin V1. And I did a little bit of time lapse for that build. It was a very easy build deck on here, nice wide 17 millimeters to play with. It was super easy to just put those coils in, tighten them down, pinch them, pulse them a few times, and I'm getting a great vape on this already. And as you can see, I'm using the Geekvape Clapton pre-made spool. Giving me an awesome vape. I'm vaping on gummy glue from Lost Art e-liquid. It's a nice candy flavor. Oh, the airflow is really actually a little too much. I got it wide open. I'm going to close that off some, and then this top airflow. Do you need it? It helps. Let's take it through the paces here. So we'll go to 50 watts. I started at 30 on my little Evic Mini. I worked it up to 50, 60 watts, and now I'm on the big boy. Let's see how high we can vape on this. It's a nice vape. That's 50 watts right there. As you can see, I used minimal wicking. Minimal. I used literally one strip. I even feel like that was too much. I feel like I should have cut it even thinner and then just barely tuck those tails in. It's not wicking as good as I'd like. I'm getting flavor, but I feel like the flavor could be richer. So here on camera, while I'm recording this, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot and play around with this. Let me get a napkin here, catch any spillage. So if you follow any number of tutorials that I do on how to wick these new RTAs that are high-powered RTAs, meaning you're going to be vaping them 40, 50, 60, 100 watts maybe. These wicks don't need to be very long. There doesn't need to be an excess of cotton bushiness up top. They really do well to hold surface tension and keep that juice from flooding. It's a good design. And you can thin these out, but the main thing I always find when my flavor is choked, my wicks are choked. So fluff them up. Even just fluffing them up a little bit makes a huge difference. So what's going on? There's too much cotton. It's too much. I'm going to give it a haircut, especially up top there. Didn't need as much up top. The part up top is just to catch a little bit of the excess. I really can't explain why it is necessary. I've done it where I cut those off completely and then for some reason the tank flooded. So you want a little bit of cotton. Maybe that cotton up top just pushes down a little. It does provide some function. So don't have it all shoved down going in the down direction. And then these, yeah, these got a little bit, they got a little bit dense. So I'm just fluffing it up a little. That's all. This one here is way too much cotton. Way too much. Get my hair cut. That's enough. Way too much. That's all you need. That's all you need. Now, assuming it doesn't flood, and it shouldn't, the flavor should have just improved tremendously. It was good before, but I knew it could be better. I really want to feel the flavor. I want to taste that flavor pop. Okay. Night and day. Night and day. Let me show you the amount of cotton I just removed is nothing. It just looked like a lot, but it's really, even a small change like that. This is, I gather it all. Why am I showing you this? It's silly to show on camera. But there's a reason for it. Because I removed that amount of cotton, that little amount of cotton. Can you see that? And it just doubled or tripled the flavor. Awesome. At 50 watts. Let's go up a little higher. I feel like the metal of the coils is breaking in now. I feel like the cotton is doing its job. You know, the worst thing that's going to happen, if you tuck those little tails in and it's a little too thin, the worst thing that's going to happen is over time, over the first 45 minutes to an hour of using this tank, you're going to notice a little bit of seeping down in here. Okay, that tells you tuck a few more fibers into those little juice channels, but don't necessarily, don't go overreact to your leaking issue, your sweating issue. Changes in cotton wicking on this are in the magnitude of those little bits, those little tiny amounts. Don't go re-wick it and like jam cotton in just because you had a little leak. Little subtle changes. When you discover how fine-tuned the tweak is to make this between leaking and not leaking, flavor and muted flavor, when you really fully discover that, oh my God, it really doesn't take much at all, hardly, barely anything at all to make a huge difference, then you'll have gotten the knack for these RTAs. But it's a very small change. That's awesome flavor, awesome vapor production at 60. So juice flow wide open. Let me show you one. Juice flow wide open, not restricted at all. It works well, especially when those coils heat up. It's going to pull juice right up through there. And when it's not heated and you're not powering it, the tension, the surface tension in here pushing out and the cotton keeping the juice down, it works fine. Awesome. I'm going to close down some airflow. That's even too airy. I'm going to shut off top airflow. Yeah, more restricted. We'll open top airflow a little. I'll leave it half open airflow on the bottom. That's awesome. It's even a little hot. Let's go up to 80 watts. Oh, okay. We'll go 90. Even better at 90. Starting to get warm. Very intense. What am I vaping here? 3 milligram. And a lot of flavoring, and a lot of sweetener, a lot of flavoring. Awesome vape though. Okay, I'm going to either go turn a fan on or go outside and vape because it's getting a little cloudy in here. So let's, fortunately, it's springtime now and we're finally starting to get some warm weather. So I can go outdoors, take my vape outside, and take my videos outside. I'm going to do 100 watts. I'm going to keep going up until I dry hit this. But so far right now it's delivering nice, crisp, clean, pure flavor. It's not even hot yet. It's warm. 100 watts. For some nice long pulls too. So the wicking's keeping up, the airflow's keeping the vape nice and cool to warm at 100 watts. It's very intense, guzzling through juice. Let's go to 110. 110 watts. Not a problem. That's fine. That's vaping nice, if a little intense for me. And again, you saw how little I actually wicked. That's all you need. You're going to be able to pull delicious flavor out of this, very intense flavor, huge vapor production. It's starting to get a little hot. I'm going to open up the airflows all the way. Still no dry hits, 130 watts. Now you noticed I shortened down my draws are not as long. That's about as long as it goes. Any further and I would dry hit. About a second and a half pull. Very intense. That's 150. So if you're going to vape above 120 watts, you're going to need a juice that is lighter on the flavoring. I would suggest dropping down your nicotine. If you're going to vape that intensely, 170. No dry hit. Handled it like a champ. I'm not going to say it's pleasurable. It's too intense. This is a very sweet candy flavored juice. I forget the flavor profile on this. It's like gummy bears. It's like fruity gummy bears. No dry hits. It's keeping up with the wicking. Very intense. If you want to go hit that for 4 or 5 seconds, knock yourself out. I don't think it can handle it. I think about a second or two. But that's all you need. It's very intense. And that was 170. Let's go to 190. You know where I'm going. I'm going to max out. 190. Handled it. No dry hit. However, it's starting to really, really give me a throat hit. Too much flavor. Too intense. Those coils are still going. They're still sizzling in there and cooking. I'm doing it for the sake of doing it. I would not vape this way, but I'm showing you that you can do it. Tank hasn't leaked a drop. If you're ever watching a video of mine and it sounds like there's an alligator stalking me, that's Sadie. But 200 watts, there you go. Not dry hitting, not burning. She handled it. That was a 6-wrap Clapton build contact coil. Incredibly intense. What does this tell you? I don't know anybody that would really enjoy vaping like that all day long. We're going to back it down to a nice comfy 100 watts and all right, 110. This is where I feel I'm going to ideally vape. And I'll close some of that airflow down a little so I get more flavor. The top airflow and the bottom airflow did cool down the vape. They did work effectively. 110, much more my style, much more my speed. That's delicious. That's enjoyable. What a cloud chucker. What a flavor chaser. Best of both worlds. There you go, guys. That's my review and demonstration of 200 watts and ideal vaping range for the Griffin 25. Thank you very much, Geekvape, for sending this to me for review. And to win one of these, brand new sealed in the box, comment down below what you like best, the best feature about this product right here, and what you liked about this video. You have to give it a like, and you have to be subscribed to my channel. I'm going to pick a winner in a couple of days, and I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for watching Quest for Vape.